Tiktakers, I guess many of you remember a video of the girl and the angel. It told the story of a very famous tomb. Well, today we revisit another cemetery. Specifically, the one where Ignacio Torres Altamira, known as Nachito, is buried. Nachito was born into a middle-class family. He was very special and everyone around him loved him very much. Apparently, he seemed to be the happiest child in the world, but in reality, he had a terrible trauma inside. He had a phobia of darkness and closed places. He was still very young, but being in the dark made him feel terrible. That's why his parents lit his room thoroughly every night. In addition, he is left with the window and door open. This allowed him to calm down and fall asleep. They also had to be careful that the light did not cast any strange shadows, which could provoke a panic attack. One version of the legend surrounding this little boy says that on May 24, 1882, there was a terrible storm and that caused the lights around Nachito's bed to go out. Such was the little boy's fright that his heart could not take it. He had a heart attack and died. His mother found him dead the next day. His parents buried him in the Berlin Pantheon in Guadalajara, Mexico. This is now considered an architectural treasure because its tombs are very well preserved. But we're not going to deviate from the story, Tiktakers. Nachito was buried there and his parents were totally devastated. But what they didn't know is that this was the beginning of a kind of nightmare. The morning after he was buried, the grave digger at the cemetery found Nachito's body outside the grave. He notified his parents and the authorities, but only the police came. The parents were too distraught to see such a sight. The grave digger reburied the body and they concluded that it was simply a macabre joke. But the thing did not end there. For 10 days exactly the same thing happened. Every morning, many curious people crowded around the grave to see the macabre scene. This made the little boy's parents very angry. Desperate, they had spoken to the watchman to have him stand guard at the site. They had to find the person responsible for this horror once and for all. But he himself was able to make sure that no one was desecrating Nachito's grave. One night, he saw with his own eyes how out of nowhere the tomb began to move and the child's corpse came out of it. This is why the mother, who had already been thinking about what had happened for a few days, said that the only problem was that Nachito was still afraid of the dark. That is why they decided to take out the grave and build one on top of it. They would not bury him underground again. It is made of stone, but they left some small openings through which the sun can enter. In addition, they placed torches around it so that it is always illuminated. This ended the nightmare but gave rise to the legend. Since then, many people come to the cemetery just to see Nachito's tomb, and they do not go empty-handed. The legend says that as soon as we enter, we must go directly there and leave him a gift. Otherwise, Nachito may play a bad joke on us. Some people come with toys, others bring candy or other things. To this day, so many years after his death, people still talk about that little boy afraid of the dark who shocked an entire country. His parents have long since passed away, but his grave is never empty. Worst of all, the grave diggers keep coming across strange things. Sometimes the toys appear to have been moved, as if Nachito occasionally went out to play with them. And be careful, Tiktakers, don't take anything from that place. Otherwise, the child will accompany you home, and strange things will start happening. Be careful. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it. And if you want to see more Draw My Life videos, subscribe to our channel. See you in the next episode.